It is Thursday, March the 9th. Just another night of action in the NBA. Coming off another winning night on Tuesday as we hit 2 of our 3 bets. We look to build on that momentum here tonight. I will be involved in 3 games once again. A sweep would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's see if we can make it happen. Why don't we start in Memphis, where the Grizzlies host the LA Clippers. Memphis, a 3.5-point favorite at Betsafe, 207, a low total in this one. Now, both these teams are going to be playoff teams out west, but they both effectively hit rock bottom right now. The Clippers just 3-5 since the All-Star break, and they're coming off a 16-point loss in Minnesota last night. For Memphis, it's been even worse lately. They've lost 3 straight games, and they're coming off a loss to the lowly Brooklyn Nets on Monday. The Nets, the single worst team in the NBA. For the Grizzlies, shockingly, their problem lately has come on the defensive end. They've actually been playing well offensively. They've scored 100 points or more in 5 straight games, 105 or more in 4 of those games. But again, they've fallen apart defensively. In their last 2 games, one of those games coming against the Brooklyn Nets, they have surrendered 245 combined points. Very strange for a team that, has been great defensively for years. And they've been great defensively this year, 4th in the NBA in points allowed, 3rd in opponent's field goal percentage. But as we said, they have not been good lately. Fortunately for them, though, the LA Clippers come to town, and the Clippers have had trouble scoring the basketball here lately. We mentioned just 3-5 in their last 8 games. They've scored 103 points or fewer in 4 of their last 5 and managed just 91 in Minnesota last night. So this an excellent opportunity for the Grizzlies to pick it back up on the defensive end and strangle a team that, as we said, has had trouble scoring. And it's a bit unusual that the Clippers have had such trouble scoring because they're healthy again now. For long stretches of this season, they were without Blake Griffin, without Chris Paul, without both of them for a time, but now both Griffin and Paul back in the fold. But still, the Clippers have had real trouble getting it going. They're a veteran team, but have really hit a rough patch now. And as we said, Memphis hit a rough patch as well. But you know what? The Grizzlies playing at home here, coming off a loss to Brooklyn on Monday. You got to think that's a wake-up call. The Clippers playing the second night of a back-to-back on the road once again. I think this might be a good spot for a Memphis play. I think this is a good opportunity for them. Again, they're facing a team that has had trouble scoring, so the Grizzlies could really get back to what they do best, which is play great defense. And as we mentioned, Memphis has actually been playing well on the offensive side of the ball lately, so I think Memphis a good play tonight as a 3.5-point home favorite. I'll be on that side of it. Moving on now to Oklahoma City, where the Thunder host the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio just a 2.5-point favorite here, 213 the total. I say just because, these teams have been moving in opposite directions lately. The Spurs have won 9 straight games. The Thunder, meanwhile, have dropped 4 straight. However, the Spurs looked pretty bad last night for a long while. They faced the Sacramento Kings, who might be, with apologies to the Nets, the Kings might be the worst team in the NBA right now. Since the Kings gave away DeMarcus Cousins, you look at what they're working with in terms of roster. They've essentially got a bunch of backups out there, yet they built a 28-point lead on this San Antonio Spurs team before the Spurs were able to come back and eventually win by 10. But I tell you what, watching a lot of that game, it sure was ugly. And the lineup the Spurs rolled out there was ugly. Greg Popovich resting both LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard. I almost forgot Kawhi Leonard's name, the guy who might be the MVP frontrunner. Speaking of MVP frontrunner, Leonard and Russell Westbrook will be facing off tonight. One of these 2 guys, with apologies to James Harden, is likely going to win the award this year. But as we said, Leonard and Aldridge were both held out last night for the Spurs. And you never know what Greg Popovich is going to do with his rotation in the regular season. You would think that those guys would be back in uniform tonight, but this will be the 6th game that the Spurs have played since March 1st, and they play Golden State on Saturday in 2 days. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if Popovich held one or both of those guys back again tonight. And you never know. You never know if we're going to see Tony Parker tonight. You just never know what Popovich and the Spurs are going to do in terms of their lineup decisions in the middle of the regular season. In Oklahoma State, we mentioned they lost, Oklahoma City that is, we mentioned they lost 4 straight, but they've been an excellent home team this season. Even after their last loss, a home loss to the Portland Trailblazers, they're still 23-9 at home, and Russell Westbrook has had great success against the San Antonio Spurs throughout his career, probably because the Spurs point guard, Tony Parker, just cannot stay with Westbrook. So If Kawhi Leonard plays tonight, he'll probably be on Westbrook for the most part. Westbrook coming off a 58-point performance in that loss to Portland on Tuesday night. Look, the public all over the San Antonio Spurs here. At the time of this recording, over 90% of the public money coming in on the Spurs. That always makes me a bit nervous. San Antonio playing the second night of a back-to-back. We mentioned they look really bad for most of the game last night against Sacramento. I have a funny feeling that this is a good time for a Oklahoma City Thunder play here tonight. It's always risky to bet against the Spurs. You really have to pick your spots. But I think this might be one of those spots. The Thunder, have really been struggling to find a win lately. They badly need a win, clinging on to that 7th seed in the Western Conference, playing at home where they've been very, very good. We never know who San Antonio is going to put out there. I will be on Oklahoma City tonight, plus 2.5 points. Final game I'll be involved in on this Thursday, March the 9th. What about the Portland Trail Blazers hosting the Philadelphia 76ers? Portland, a big 10-point favorite at Betsafe, 221 the total. But you know what? Portland is a big favorite here for a reason. The Blazers have really picked it up here lately. They have won 3 straight games. And finally, they're getting contributions from people other than Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. Joseph Nurkic, who they picked up just a couple of weeks ago from the Denver Nuggets. He has been a revelation since moving into the starting center spot. Nurkic has scored 15 points or more in 4 straight games, averaging nearly 15 a game since coming over from Denver. Allen Crabbe, the reserve guard, has also been playing some great basketball lately. He scored 23 on Tuesday night in Portland's win in Oklahoma City. As we said, the Blazers have won 3 straight games. They're now just a game back of Denver for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. So each game for them now very, very important. At home tonight against the Sixers. And you know what? It's almost sad what's happened to the Sixers. If you were watching them a month or two ago, I guess 6 weeks ago or so, when they were really playing some good basketball and they were fun to watch, competitive night in and night out. For a while, it looked like they might make a run for the 8th and final playoff spot in the East. But alas, their roster has fallen apart. Part of it has been injury, of course, Joel Embiid, and some of it has been the typical Philadelphia 76ers giveaways, just stripping their roster. They gave Nerlens Noel to the Dallas Mavericks for essentially nothing a couple of weeks ago. And you look at it now, the center position, which at one time was a strength for this Philadelphia 76ers team. I mean, they had a glut of talent there, but now that Embiid is gone for the season, that Noel is gone permanently, Jahlil Okafor questionable tonight with a knee injury. So the Sixers really have next to nothing now at that position. Might be down to Richaun Holmes. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games. They've really fallen apart on the defensive end. They've allowed 105 or more in 7 of their last 8. And Portland is a team who can put up the points. Now, Portland did lose to Philly by 1 point, 93-92, the last time these teams met. That was on January 20th. But you know what? I think that could just serve. as motivational fuel here for the Blazers. I think they're going to come out and really put one on the Sixers tonight. I like Portland to cover the 10-point number. There you have it, folks. Those are my thoughts on this Thursday, March the 9th. I like the Memphis Grizzlies, minus 3.5 at home against the LA Clippers. I like the Oklahoma City Thunder as a sneaky 2.5-point home underdog against the San Antonio Spurs. And I like Portland to cover 10 against the Philadelphia 76ers. Folks, I wish you best of luck tonight, no matter what you decide to do, just so long as your interests don't conflict with my interests. Enjoy the games.